This podcast is proudly brought to you by Term Plus. What I like about Term Plus is its easy to use online platform, giving you access to high-yield term-based accounts, providing consistent monthly income. Owned and operated by Pengana, an ASX-listed company with 23 years of experience, Term Plus is democratizing access to global private credit markets. Visit termplus.com.au to learn more and read the PDS before investing.
Drew Meredith. Owen is away.
Again. What is it with Rask? Does everyone go on holiday or junkets all the time?
Owen is on an official family holiday, not a junket. He's currently sunning himself up in far north Queensland, I presume doing some fishing and whatever else happens up there.
Someone who deserves or much needed holiday. Young child running businesses. Please don't talk to him if he's out and about.
Well, we've got a little internal policy when he's not in the office. When he's on holiday, we do not message him. However, it's not going it's not happening the other way. He can't help himself.
Yeah, he always
he's already been. I can see him on our online chat system
playing around on there.
Yeah, answering people's questions after hours. Yeah. Like, settle down, mate.
Well, in his defence, if you go to, there's no offence to Queensland, but after 9:30 in Palm Cove and Port Douglas, there's not much to do.
I'd imagine, yeah.
If you're still on Melbourne time zones, well, you've got to do something from 9:30 till 10, I guess, before you fall asleep.
No offence to the people using our intercom chat system, but I could think of a few other things to do if I'm on holiday.
Who knows?
Anyway, so
I do have a question for him because there was breaking news this week and I never thought this would happen in Australia. Virgin Australia now allows a certain type of guest on their planes. And I thought of you when this came up.
Thought of me?
I did.
What am I taking on the plane? Because it's a dog, isn't it?
And it's only to one dog or cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because your cat gracefully joined us for a small part of the podcast last time.
He's to be fair, my cat pops up pretty much during every time the camera's on, even if it's just with a call with an investor, a call with the CEO. It doesn't care.
Hello.
It doesn't discriminate.
What's its name again?
Its name is actually Texas, but we just call him Tabby.
Oldham. Oh, yep.
Yeah, we just say I adopted him from the Lord Smith animal shelter here in Melbourne years ago now. And but keen viewers will observe that he's only got one eye.
Oh,
yeah. So a lot of people don't notice that, but he's only got very expensive to remove an eye. He had a little tumor in it, so we had to. It was about $3,000.
And there's no Medibank, Medicare. There's no subsidy.
No, and I didn't have pet insurance, and
usually a lot of exclusions on that too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Anyways,
so would you pay $149 to take Texas to one destination in Australia, the Gold Coast?
Is that it?
It's only going to the Gold Coast for the time being, from Melbourne to the Gold Coast.
Probably not. He would absolutely hate
the Gold Coast. Get down Cavill Ave, get a leash on.
He'd hate the Gold Coast. He wouldn't have a good time.
No.
What's that pub? I can't remember the name of it. The Cooley Hotel. He'd probably love that. To be fair.
Sit up on the windowsill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Watch the world go by. Anyway, so Drew, you've been in here measuring up everyone for their Christmas shackets. That's what you're getting us all. I've just come back from a junket, so I'm going to really...
I was supposed to question you on that.
I'm going to really heavily lean on you because
it wouldn't be a change to any other week, to be honest.
Kind of really heavily lean on you for the news of what has actually been happening in the world, because I have been completely switched off for 2 weeks getting around the US with your other half.
Yeah, my business partner, Jamie, yes. I'd like to learn a little bit more about that too. So you went to New York and you went to swan around New York, I'm guessing. The jet lag lasts 3 days or something.
Yes. I'll run you through the itinerary. It is
pretty amazing.
It was one of the companies that you do own.
The Inside Network runs a study tour, yes.
Yes. So the Inside Network takes a group of wealth managers, advisors, and other hangers-on, like myself, on a study tour of the US each year. And the first stop was Boston.
Yeah.
Then New York, and then LA, but not really like LA. It's down in Huntington Beach.
Down near Laguna Beach. If anyone that's in the right era to...
It's basically
the hills.
A beach a really pretty ugly beach alongside like a 6-lane highway.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very relaxing.
And the conference is in a caravan park, like essentially caravan parking areas.
Yeah, true. Actually,
incredibly long.
Yeah, but it's very well done. So yeah, we did Boston, New York, LA. So Boston was the start of the trip, and that's a long leg to go from Melbourne, LA, then Boston. Like, well, after you've done a 15-hour flight, you're in the States.
It's another 6 or 7, isn't it?
It's another 6 hours to get across to Boston. That last leg was pretty brutal.
Would have been tough in business class.
I wasn't in business class. I had to pay my own way. I had to walk past all of your mates in business class.
Last time, I didn't go last time, but there was a joke, I'll roll you a bread roll or something down from, because they're in first class or in business class, and rolling it back to the premium economy and everyone's schlepping it back down there. Yeah.
Just hoik it down to row 30. If you could basically put a seatbelt on the cam, that's where I was sitting.
More fun back there anyway.
Yeah.
Have you had one highlight? And not sport related?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to narrow it down to one highlight. So on this trip, we did, of course, go and meet with numerous fund managers, other advisors and whatnot. We went to MIT, Harvard. MIT was pretty amazing.
Yep.
We got a talk from Vlad, who is the head of the Nano Lab.
Yep.
So Nano Lab, they are working on a scale of 1/1000th of a meter. So Vlad himself has got about 50 patents to his name. He invented the quantum LED screen.
Don't know what that is.
Literally what you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
Your iPhone, etc. He invented that.
Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT.
Yeah. Incredibly impressive, and it's kind of almost hospital-ish.
They were talking about like nuclear fusion there last time, apparently. And
it was in the Nano Lab. You could see into it. You can't go in there, of course, because literally a speck of dust would bugger up the whole thing. They replace the air in that lab every 15 seconds.
Replaced it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like pretty serious stuff.
How do you replace air?
I don't know however they do it in the casino, just pumping it in. Just ask Crown. Anyway, and so then we had a chat with him, and he's working currently on essentially solar panels that can be rolled out on a carpet or a beach towel.
Yeah,
because he was looking at the prohibitive costs of solar around the world, and it's predominantly installation and the infrastructure required to hold the panels.
Over sometimes,
and so there's a TED talk out there. You can check it out. He actually gets out of his pocket this wafer thin, almost like on a piece of Glad wrap, and it's a solar cell.
Yeah,
and so he's working on it so you can literally roll it out on a carpet on your roof, and job done. You've got solar power. So it's really, really impressive stuff. But it was what we got away from that talk and a lot of others is just don't bet against the US.
Yeah, and it's perspective, isn't it? Yeah. Like we worry about valuations. Are you worried about what NVIDIA's doing and how they're selling so many chips and what the growth is growth slowing? You can have so many bearish stories, and then you go see the technology that's been pushed to the edge. Like that's going to change, if anything near that in the next 5 years, and the whole system changes again. And
to listen to him about how he goes about picking the projects and whatnot that they do work on, and the companies that can come in and work alongside them and use their resources.
Yeah,
they charge to use this enormous microscope that's about literally would take up half of this room. Cost them $5 million from a Japanese company to put in there. They charge companies to come off the street and use that $75 an hour.
Yeah.
So you can see these huge like NVIDIA and things like that can go into the nano labs and pay $75 an hour plus materials to get access to this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
MIT was really cool, but trying to think we went to lunch with Warburg Pincus.
Yep.
Warburg Pincus. I didn't know of them until we went over there.
There was UBS Warburg for a while, but there was a split there, wasn't there? Warburg Pincus, like a private asset.
Well, they're the oldest private equity manager in the US. And I was fortunate enough. We had lunch with them, and there was a little presentation from Jake Stewart, I think his name is, who was the former press secretary for Bill Clinton.
Yep.
And he was also an advisor to Barack Obama. I was fortunate enough they made the mistake of sitting me next to the CEO.
I learned to do this. Apparently, when I laugh, I have to push the microphone away because I laugh so much.
I'll have to give you a warning. Anyway, I got sat next to him at lunch, and we're just having a chat, as you do. He's the third CEO in 60 years.
Yeah,
and he just became the CEO. We were having a chat about like their best and worst investments.
Yeah,
and their worst investment. I don't know if I told you this.
Buying back their own stock?
What do you reckon their worst investment's been? A private equity company. I'll say that the analysts that probably pushed this, it was very much an ego play.
Oh, it'd be a tech firm that they shouldn't have bought.
Well, tech is certainly involved in this area.
Yeah. Canva? No, I got no idea.
No idea. They bought an F1 team.
Oh, a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just actually Googled it outside to see which one it was because he wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
So you can find it online. You can Google it. But
they're doing F1's doing so well now. I got shares in F1. What's the group called?
Well, that's what I said.
Discovery.
I was like, the issue is buying the team and not the organisation.
Yeah.
Now F1's doing very
Killing
well.
It now.
Thanks to Netflix.
Like, is it Discovery Group or something like that it's called that owns it? But it's all private equity owned now.
Yeah, so that was great sitting next to him and just having a chat. And just so down to earth for a guy that looks after a couple of $100 billion.
Yeah.
They've done 18% per annum.
Yeah.
After fees
in perpetuity.
For a very
long time.
For longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. And it's continuing to do 18%, not like some fund managers that say it was 30% in 1992 and then still living on those.
So it was, that was incredibly impressive.
What do they think about rate cuts in the US?
Do you know what? It didn't come up a lot.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It actually didn't come up a lot at all. And so that talk, there was lots of talk about the Trump administration.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about
that. So that was with, Bill Clinton's old press secretary, so he's got a pretty good insight into it. This guy's wife as well worked directly with Trump on a few bills. They were personally not fans of the Donald, but he said that he was incredibly positive about the administration. He said that the progress they made was incredibly impressive. What was really interesting was the same sentiments were echoed the next day by PIMCO's head of policy and whatnot. But she took it a step further and actually said that Donald Trump was the most talented politician she'd ever seen in her lifetime.
But you kind of see it though. Like you don't have to, and not a lot of people like the man, but the politics, the media, the way he understands media, the way he executes, the way he gets headlines, even when he's out of the spotlight. You got it, like all those things. And then policies, it's like everyone wants a commercial person to be president or prime minister, but we know that it doesn't actually work when they're president or prime minister. Like we've seen it in Australia a few times. It didn't turn out very well. But bringing, like not being combative with private sector, like private sector is where all the investment's going, where the economy is growing from. So not being combative and bringing them into the White House. I mean, maybe not setting up that lawn cafe or whatever he set up at the White House.
I missed that.
But it is, I mean, and I'm not pro-Trump by any means. It's just more like the approach is clear. He kind of does what he says he's going to do, whether you like what he says or not. That's up to you.
Yeah, they were very adamant that there's no way he's going to get another term.
No, of course not.
They said that's just all smoke and mirrors and just him talking rubbish. They just said just focus on what he does.
Yeah.
Focus on what actually gets pushed through, et cetera. Focus on that rather than what he says. He does hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
He says things in such a way that make it sound pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that was a big takeaway, was the positivity from the likes of PIMCO, private equity, et cetera, around that administration. We were because, I mean, sitting back in Australia, we just probably see those ridiculous headlines. So that was really interesting. What else did we get up to? I actually stumbled across at Future Proof, which is the festival, the nerdiest festival in town.
All wearing golf shirts. It's probably buy, hold, sell golf shirts.
Sell.
Good.
Can't do it.
Every single person at that conference wears a golf shirt.
Well, we had our own kind of like Charlie Sheen style bowling shirts.
I saw those. I was like, why are you guys wearing these?
Yeah.
Thanks to, I assume that's Ash.
That was Ash from the Inside Network. That came out of your pocket.
Yeah, of course it did.
And so, yes, for that festival, I didn't really do any of the talks.
Yeah.
I was to be fair, it came at the end of the trip.
That jet lag was really kicking in.
The jet lag was terrible. Big time difference from New York to LA. But yes, no, I'd done a lot of socializing by that point. A lot of networking.
No doubt.
A lot of networking.
But a lot of these trips, you realize it's not the meetings that you're doing with advisors and fund managers. It's the business learnings and the philosophy learnings from the people that you're traveling with.
The people that you're traveling with were amazing.
Are more interesting.
So we had some of the biggest wealth managers in Australia on the trip. I became really good mates with a lot of them. We had one of the guys is from Capital Group, which I didn't even know about Capital Group, but it's the world's largest active fund manager with $3 trillion worth of assets under management.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. No, not an ad. But got to travel with him and just chat with him. Yeah. And we would go to breakfast most days together. We'd go and find a diner.
Yeah.
And
go get some powdered eggs or something. Yeah.
We found this diner that was on do you watch Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix?
No.
Okay. So I'm sure people listening do.
Somebody Feed Phil.
Somebody Feed Phil, yeah. It's got up to its like 7th or 8th season now on Netflix. Anyway, there was an episode in this latest season where he's in Boston, and I actually went to the diner, the galley diner where he goes to, and it is as authentic as it appears. It was great. So
you didn't miss much anyway.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the last thing that I was quite impressed with at Future Proof, I wandered around all the stalls, just saying hello. As soon as they hear that you're Australian and they can't sell you anything,
they just give you free shit and tell you to leave.
They don't care. But I stumbled across Exchange Traded Concepts.
Yeah.
Have you seen these guys before?
Like basically they exchange trade anything?
No.
Not that. No.
Exchange Traded Concepts. It's essentially think Shopify for ETFs.
Yeah.
So it's originally these fund managers who wanted to launch their own ETF. They were fumbling their way through doing it. It cost them about $1 million in legal fees, and it took them well over 13 months to actually launch
so you can throw
ETF.
a wrapper on anything.
And so they're like, wow. Then people started coming to them saying, oh, how did you do it? Or what would you do differently? Can you tell me who you talked to get up the runway, to get listed, et cetera, et cetera. And then they thought, there's a business here. So just kind of like Shopify started with old mates trying to sell snowboards online.
Helping it. Yeah.
These guys said there's actually a business. So you can now go to Exchange Traded Concepts. They will help you build out your methodology or whatever if you don't have a concept already. And they will help you launch your ETF. So for $90,000, that's what it costs. And they white label essentially the white label ETFs. So
I found that super. I went the year before and spoke to a couple of people, and advice firms were launching their own ETF model portfolios.
It was either advice if you walking around the outside of the festival and just chatting to people, and picking up stubby holders from all they all had koozies,
beer koozie.
It was either advice tech.
Yeah.
Or an ETF.
Yeah.
There was no in between.
Well, it's like, I mean, they don't have the platform issue or the things that you have to have a platform to be able to invest in a diverse range of assets here. They don't have, a lot of theirs is custody driven. And if you change, your advisor can change custody overnight, switch broking house. So if you're going to get everything on a HIN effectively, I mean, the HINs over there are a bit better than the HINs here. But if you can do that, it's like completely portable. You kind of only has to make one transaction to invest and they get your entire model portfolio. And it's listed. It's like it kind of, to a level, it makes sense.
Yeah. So it was, Exchange Trade Concepts. I then listened to a podcast with them afterwards, and their record from the first meeting to actually listing an ETF when they're ringing the bell.
Yeah.
I think it was 90 or 100 days.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah. So really, really quick turnaround, 90 grand and away you go. So they're now, I could absolutely see something like that evenally coming to Australia.
You can do it here. I just don't think it's very streamlined. And I think they promise something, but it takes a lot longer and it costs a lot more.
Yeah. So that was I found that really interesting. My other key takeaway, last one. I'll stop banging on about it. Oh, you should have seen me on the pickleball court. Oh, Christ. So Capital Group hosted us for a pickleball tournament. I went down. I was running to get a ball.
And you at Future Proof in front of people? Yeah. And you would have got a graze too.
It's still really sore.
How'd you explain that to your partner?
And so you know when you were going to fall? But you
like
just
slow motion fall?
Yeah, it was peak male performance.
In the sun, it would have been hot.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. So the last takeaway is if Guzman and Gomez try to go across to the US and start short Guzman and Gomez.
Short for sure, yeah.
Have you ever been in New York, there's a Mexican chain called Los Tacos No. 1.
Well, it sounds like the best taco.
It's a taco that'll change your life.
Yeah.
It was so unbelievably good. It was $6 a taco.
Like a proper Mexican.
Really incredibly good. If Guzman and Gomez try and go up against that kind of stuff, sure, they are going to incinerate cash.
They're more the Chipotles, aren't they? But
still, you go up against that, you're going to incinerate cash.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my
takeaways
were my
the food tour of US.
It's my takeaways from my junket with your other half, Jamie.
Well, not much happened while you're away.
Right.
I mean, just in the last couple of days. Do we see we don't talk about the RPM global takeover because that's impacted our portfolios.
Right. Well, also, I mean, that's been covered by the dome.
Yeah. We don't talk about the dome.
We don't talk. This is a dome-free zone.
We're going through some questions. We were going to touch any of them. There's only certain ones, but
I'm just on that. I'm looking at the listener questions. Every second one is, "Hey, dome." Oh, a question for the dome. Something.
We need an Australian stock tipping podcast.
Yeah. He's captured the hearts and minds of the Rask community.
But we rates got cut in the US.
Yes,
that was I think it was just last night. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I was being back for that one.
I just really check Tesla shares every night because I'm waiting for them to catch up on our model or our play portfolios that we have in competition, which I can't catch up for some reason. And Tesla,
I will be entering that next year.
Yes, I'm going to take a very different approach next year. I'm not sure how different it will be, but I thought that was interesting. And then, the Fed also said probably less rate cuts than expected going forward. Trump's nomination for the Fed was the only one that voted for 50 basis point rate cut, apparently. I mean, it sort of sets a scene for a positive end to the year. I don't like to predict, but markets have been running, interest rates being cut, but who knows what happens in next year if this keeps running.
Do you foresee us getting additional rate cuts?
Yeah, I think at least one more this year.
One more for this year? Yeah.
Definitely. If you don't know, I've made quite a few rate calls before. Anytime I say definitely, take it with a grain of salt.
Definitely, maybe
a box of salt. I don't know. Maybe some of that Malden, salt flakes.
I have a box of that next to the stove. Yeah. It's the best.
It's really good.
It lifts your cooking to another
level.
Pretty
bougie. Yeah, it's a bit of a flex there.
Is it?
But Santos takeover cut. You see that?
Yes, I did this morning.
Third time.
Yeah. They backed out.
Tried 3 times, and this time the Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation cut out. That's I think the share price dropped 11-12% today.
Right.
And it's these kind of stories are always same as I think RPM might be different, but there's always this question of when a takeover offer comes through. Origin had one a couple of years ago. Do you take the money as soon, try to sell as soon as the offer comes in?
Well, that Origin one's quite fortuitous that they didn't take it because of that Octopus Energy and Kraken.
What's going up with that? Yeah. But I'm always at least take your profits. If you're sitting on this, you've just had a 20-30% increase. I always try and get into a risk-free position when you get a takeover offer because particularly bigger companies are not, they're very hard deals to get through.
So do you like that idea of the free carry?
Yeah.
Essentially.
When we're managing retiree portfolios, if you got 15, 16, 17 holdings, you don't want to be overloading one too much. And at that point, you've got the ability to rebalance and go somewhere else. And it's very rare, particularly if you're staying ASX 100, to get a bidding war come out.
Yeah.
Like you're not good. There's only usually one or two buyers for most companies in Australia.
Have I missed much news RUL? Because I know it was Caterpillar, but just before I left, it was Caterpillar. There was potentially more in the other additional players in the wings.
I haven't seen, not the share price has told us.
Right, okay.
And that's all I care about. If the share,
hold on. Is RUL in your portfolio?
No, it's not.
Okay, right.
It's in Owen's
probably in
portfolio.
Owen's,
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was putting a short on it, but no one gave me stock to short it. No, I'm joking. But I thought another one, which probably fits the theme of your trip, Macquarie considered a takeover offer of Carlyle Group.
Really?
The US private equity firm.
I missed that.
Whether it looks like a merger or a
they didn't have me in the room.
Did you
for
meet
that
Carlyle?
One. No,
I met them last time.
Macquarie were at the Future Proof Festival though.
US Macquarie.
Yeah.
No, not the Australian one, unfortunately. It would have been. Yeah, I thought like there's different signals that come out of this where shareholders in Macquarie, great, interesting business, but then it's like if they're looking to buy one of the biggest private equity firms in the world, are they struggling for growth? Like what's the deal about?
What's the deal?
Yeah.
We'll have to get Shamira on the podcast.
See if she'll come back. Apparently happened months ago. It's always nice. Oh yeah, 3 months ago we talked to Carlyle Group about merger. Oh, that's not, that's not important, but
right. How did that come out then?
It was in the fin.
It was
so
just
someone
in the fin.
leaked
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I was like,
Or someone asked a question. I guess
an unusual ASX announcement. We did this a few months ago. We thought about
it's
this
never
a few
an
months
ASX
ago.
announcement. Someone just rumors it and someone has to respond. And buy, hold, sell, Chinese tech.
I was reading something this morning.
I like being able to quiz you for once. It's more fun asking questions.
I was up at your office this morning, as you would have said.
Oh, yeah, I was in a meeting. Yeah,
you were in a serious
rare meeting, yes.
Unusual. And when I left the office, I bumped into Global X's Billy Leong.
Oh, nice.
And so just sheer coincidence, I will say buy because I'm backing Billy's Dragon ETF.
It's been a massive, like you look around on the nose completely for like 2 or 3 years.
Well, I read this morning in the
removed from the FANG,
the Financial Times, that China supposedly the government has now banned companies from purchasing NVIDIA chips.
Yeah,
anything US made. They believe their chips now internally they're producing chips at the NVIDIA equivalent or better.
Yeah, they'll always say that.
They always say that.
I don't think anyone's really doing that.
That's so. So I don't know. But I'm also in the camp of, hey, let's split your chips.
Yeah, split. Yeah,
it's not one or the other.
You can buy from multiple places.
Exactly.
We're all friends.
I would happily. Yes, I'm happily remaining long US.
But NVIDIA still doesn't have enough chips to sell them anyway.
So I'm happily remaining long US after everything that I've seen, like the power of the US consumer.
Yeah,
it's incredible. And I'm still, I would not bet against China Tech.
Over under Alibaba shares in the last 12 months, 50%.
You mean increase or decrease?
Year to date. Increase. The last 12 months.
I don't follow Alibaba.
Up nearly 100% since 1 January this year.
There you go.
Must be one of the top performers out there. And Baidu, I don't know what it does. Tech firm, internet services, artificial intelligence.
They do a bit of everything.
Up 64%.
Right, there you go.
Like China Tech is running, and it's running now that US Tech's kind of slowed down too. I thought that was like finding that super interesting.
Yeah, well, kind of still on the same theme as my trip. So Novo Nordisk.
Oh, yes.
This morning I was reading as well. They've had some fantastic success with their pill form of their weight loss injectable.
Yeah.
So their weight loss the injectable, on average, people lose about 17% of their body weight.
Yeah.
I am in need of this after my trip.
It's like an appetite suppressant, isn't it? Yeah.
And so the pill form, though, after the phase, I can't remember what stage they're in testing, but after 63 weeks of testing, on average, patients are losing 16.6%.
And it's much easier. I mean, I got a friend trying one of the Ozempic examples, and the need, like anytime you have to regularly inject yourself, it seems kind of challenging. So
I'd imagine,
form.
I've never done that. I was going to say it's like from the gym junkies.
Yeah. I'm doing it I could never. Yeah, it's hard enough. I can't even get my blood taken. That's hard enough.
Really?
Let alone put a needle in the other way. That's
you don't like blood tests? No blood.
No, I mean probably disclosing too much here, but I don't quite faint, but I get close to fainting.
Lightheaded?
Yeah, but I think I solved it for those playing along at home.
I could have picked that.
I have to get another one before the end of the year though. So apparently, lie down flat.
Yeah.
Put a hat on your face.
Right.
And then let them put the needle in. So usually you sit up.
What does the hat do?
I don't know. I was just wearing a hat that day. But I'm not going to change it this time. Usually you sit up and then all the blood runs down to your feet and you like that. So if you lie down flat, blood can't run anywhere.
Right.
That's what I'm trying next time.
I'm glad I've not had to go through this.
And it's not the needle for everyone playing along at home.
What is it?
The actual removal of blood, just bang, out.
It's a Senzia.
Yeah.
All right. So you're not donating anytime soon?
No. I mean, I'd love to, and I find it incredibly valuable. I just can't. I just couldn't. Maybe it'll help. I don't know.
I haven't. So I haven't checked what the shares of Novo Nordisk did off the back of these results, but they haven't had the best.
They're up 3% yesterday.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Because they were
down 42% for the year.
I was going to say they were down close to 50%.
Yeah.
And so now they seem to be making ground.
Yeah.
They're making ground again, and they're actually probably leapfrogged.
It's like a falling hike pattern. Is that what you call it?
Right.
Yeah. When it.
So that's some news that I've seen recently.
The only other one I had, which I found quite interesting, and I think it's part of your model as well, Charter Hall.
Yeah.
Long
CLW.
well read.
Yeah.
We've held it for a while. It's done incredibly well. Mm-hmm. Like in the last, I don't know if you've been holding for 12 months.
No, we've only been holding since May.
Yeah. It's done even like over that period, it's done exceptionally well. But now it's kind of got an interesting position that we all bought it when it had a discount to its net tangible asset value. And now the net tangible, so the value of the underlying assets, net of the debt is, I think it's $5.80 and the share price is $5.80. So it's almost trading at its net tangible asset value. And we originally bought it because of that discount. Mm-hmm. And now the question is, and I think this is more for people buying it today, is what question do you need to ask yourself when you're buying it? It's offering a 5.5% yield still, which is pretty attractive. But when we bought it, it was paying 8.5% or 9%. And then for me, is the rent going to keep up? Is the increase in rent now going to be enough to warrant continuing to hold it for the next 5 years? I've got an answer to that. I was going to check yours. Yeah.
No, I would like to hear your answer.
Because when you're investing in property, you've got two things. You've got the cap rate. Mm-hmm. So are the valuation, now that it's at net tangible asset value, is the valuation going to increase? So interest rates going to have fallen. That should see the cap rate reduce, which would see the valuations increase. So your NTA can actually increase, not just decrease like we've seen for the last 10 years. And then rent. So the rent of these things is linked to inflation generally. So is the increase in rent going to be enough to sustain the yield? And also, are we going to see increasing valuations? As it stands, I'm pretty comfortable maintaining the position, even though the discount's there. We bank that discount. You're up 30% or so if you bought it in that period. And now you're getting a comparative. And I think one good thing, and you probably do it when you're building portfolios too, is what's the opportunity cost of selling this to buy something else?
Yeah, exactly.
Where else can I get that?
And also, what's its
role
role in
the
portfolio too?
Yeah. It was there for income, and it's still there for income. So
and diversifier as well for you guys, surely?
Yeah, and I mean, we want a real asset exposure. It's hard to get good real asset exposures and kind of pure. And this one's,
we got a lot of on the trip, especially in New York, when we were seeing a lot of fund managers, there's a lot of real asset private credit talk.
Yeah.
So we talked to PIMCO about their aircraft leasing fund.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's quite starting to...
It's all getting very niche.
Yes.
Asset-backed. You get some like consumer loans, car loans, credit card loans.
We got as well from Blue Owl.
Yeah. They just bought something overnight too.
Did they? Breaking news here. Blue Owl talked to us about their student loan fund.
Yeah.
Which was quite, speaking of niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this. I went to our alternatives event on Monday, and Tuesday.
Is that in the Blue Mountains?
Yeah, in the Blue Mountains.
Oh, right.
Oh, this is another story there. Oh my God. The story there is not fun. But it was like, historically, you just invest into a broad-based fixed income fund, you get a bit of credit, they mix all that stuff in there. But now you can kind of buy, I want car loans. I'm going to go buy a car loan fund. I want insurance-linked security. I'm going to buy insurance-linked security fund. Like, it's got very, very
niche. And it got there very quick.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very quick. And those markets are getting so big. So it was Blue Owl Capital did a partnership with Rest, the superannuation fund, to go into US REITs. That's what I saw.
Not that long ago, I did an interview with the CEO of Navigator Global Investments, NGI.
Yep.
Stephen Dark's his name. And Blue Owl own a big chunk of Navigator as well.
Yep. Yeah, super. All these names pop up that, like Blue Owl, Carlisle, that you barely even know in Australia. And they're starting to pop up quite regularly.
Yeah. I actually even did, sitting in your seat this morning was one of the fellas from Kohler Capital.
Yeah. Yeah,
secondaries, which was quite interesting. So that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks.
Super, we're looking, we've been investing and looking closely at secondaries. Very interesting
I'll
for
just
retail
quickly
investors.
Let people know what secondaries are, because it's actually not something that I had exposure to a lot. It's basically, instead of when you invest in private equity, a lot of people just invest at the start. They go primaries.
Yeah.
That's what they go. And then secondaries comes along and they provide liquidity to people who want to exit those primaries. So it could be in a 10-year period, but they might come in at year 5. And so they've had a chance to see these portfolios develop, et cetera. So Drew was giving me the little wrap up there, everyone. But should we do a question each?
We probably should do one.
They're all for the dome.
They all do send it through. I know. We spend most of our time sifting through all the dome questions.
Yeah, there's a non-dome one here. I might. I'm gonna answer this really quick one. VGS. This was from Curious Eagle. VGS, VAS, IVV, NDQ. Thoughts on these ETF combos for the long term? Which one would you take?
They're all a bit too similar for me. VGS, Vanguard Global.
Yeah,
tracks the MSCI.
Yep.
VAS, Aussie shares. Mm-hmm. So Aussie shares, anything. NASDAQ. Mm-hmm. And S&P 500.
Yeah, so
three of them have a lot of overlap.
Yeah, so if I have to just take two, I'll take the two that I built our Luna portfolio out of, which is VAS and IVV. Because when you buy into IVV, you're getting a lot of those NASDAQ shares anyway. IVV, for those that don't know, it's the S&P 500, the 500 largest companies in the US, irrespective of where they're listed, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm very similar. Like, I'm always about how do you get the most bang for your buck if you're only buying two? Obviously, I think you should be getting more.
What about VGS then? Would you go VGS instead?
Yeah, I mean, my preference is we tend to build portfolios using the MSCI. So the MSCI is a broader index. It includes Europe, even though it's not a massive part of Europe in European stocks.
Do you know who started at the MSCI?
Morgan Stanley.
Capital Group.
Oh, Morgan Stanley Capital.
Yeah,
International.
So Capital Group sold it to Morgan Stanley. They created the MSCI index to actually benchmark their own analysts to know if they were any good or not.
And then they sold it. Then they get paid for everyone using it now. Yeah.
I learned that on the walk to the diner.
You see, you learn everything. You learn something all the time. I thought that was I kind of prefer. I use IWLD, which is similar to VGS. It just has a iShares.
It's the iShares version.
ESG screen on it, but not that.
It's got an ESG screen on it.
Yeah, that was the only, because for some reason I don't think they could copy the VGS at the time for one reason or another. But that's slightly more diversified, which means you're holding in NVIDIA is like 8, not 10%, and that's way. But I mean, we're talking about like very slight differences here.
Yeah. Do you want to pick one question that's non-dome related?
I think the Payday Blues. That seemed like an alright one.
Which one was that one? Okay. Yeah. Go on.
When a company is sold or taken over, for example, the one we don't talk about. Again, it hasn't been taken over yet. Let's not count our chickens and our fake portfolio chickens. Do you pay tax on the money returned, all the money returned to you when it's sold, or just the portion you've made a profit on? If you do pay tax, are you still entitled to the capital gains tax discount? So how does capital gains tax work?
You pick this one.
I know.
Off you go. Come on.
So when you capital gains tax is payable, or capital gains tax isn't a tax. You pay tax at your marginal tax rate, and that marginal tax rate will be if it's in your own name, it's a standard marginal tax rate. If it's in super, it's at the superannuation tax rate. If it's in a trust, you actually pay it when it's distributed to the beneficiaries. And how do you calculate capital gains? You have the value that it's sold at, so the dollar value you actually received from the takeover, minus what you paid for it, including the costs of buying it, which is not
Your
much for a
or
brokerage.
whatever, yeah.
And that amount is the gain that you start with. If you've held it for over 12 months, that gain can be halved. And that half gets included in your taxable income. So if you've got an $80,000 income and it's $20,000 assessable gain, your income is actually taxed as if you have $100,000 in income. It's what people kind of forget, that all of a sudden you might be on a 15% tax rate, and you could, if it's selling a house or something, you could actually jump up to like the 45% tax rate if it's a massive gain on there. So yes, you do, as long as you've held it for 12 months. The discount is only 33% if it's held in superannuation, 50% if it's held outside. And then you can, if you've got carried forward losses, use those losses to reduce the undiscounted gain. There we go.
Very succinct.
Well, hopefully, I think I will answer that quite well.
Very
Credit
good.
to myself.
Look, we might leave it there, Drew. We don't want to use all of our good non-dome related questions, because me and you will be back next week.
Yes.
And it's a shortened week here because we like to have a public holiday for the grand final.
Yes.
Any excuse. So we'll be recording this a bit earlier in the week. So we'll need some ammunition, some questions to get us through.
I mean, I'm in a fight with ChatGPT trying to get my dad joke for this week.
I completely
just won't
forgot
go
about
away.
that. I was going to wrap up completely without it, but go on, please.
None of these are working. I'm going to have to complain to OpenAI about this, but why did the investor break up with the bond?
I don't know.
Because it had no yield in the relationship. I did one on the retirement podcast and it didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Do you do these jokes on the retirement podcast?
No,
too?
I just tried one today.
Oh, okay.
I thought it'd be fun.
Let's see what happens to the downloads.
The
of that
ratings.
one.
Listen to the end. Always listen to the end.
Very good. Drew, really good to do this with you in person, and I'll catch you next week, mate.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thanks for watching this episode of the podcast. If you want to hear more from us, you can get daily videos and podcasts on Rask's YouTube channel. Or if you want to enroll in a free course on investing, property, business, money, you name it, you can join over 34,000 other students and enroll in a free course on the Rask website. Simply head to www.rask.com.au and follow the prompts. Thanks for watching this Rask podcast.